Ah. Hello, this is LK BRUYx, voted by aliens 46. This is channel A&E, the original Southwest Airlines home. Hello, Southwest Airlines. Please refer to
the kind of isolation that is faced by countries
VBA47's
that are subject to U.S. sanctions.
intro. Hello, Josh. How are you?
This is obviously something that the president
This is
takes quite
obviously
seriously.
an issue.
He's also concerned about the potential impact that this could have in terms of,
or it's simple kidnapping,
the concept of
a handicap.
The United States
He
benefits
can't
from
fit through the other door.
sovereign
He
immunity
can't.
more
He's
than any other
handicapped.
country in the world, because the United States uses our
He needs the
influence
ramp
in the international
in
community,
the
more than any
international
other country in the
community.
world. And to pass a piece of
And the
legislation that
pass
would open up
We're
our
always going to
diplomats, our
pass
service members, and even American
because we're charging
businesses
people
to potential lawsuits,
to potential lawsuits and we're restituting them to a
It's foolish.
volunteer status.
So we're going to continue to make this case.
You do
We
it for
already have
free, and that's it.
We'll continue to make it.
Play
And
that
at some
song all
point,
day
members
for
of
free.
Congress will face the question about whether or not their
It's for free. They need to get
vote
that.
that they cast in public
And I am so you're taking people's
reflects the
money.
views that they've articulated
It's for
in private.
free.
Okay, Ron.
What is the administration's explanation for the Inspector
You can
General
open it for
finding
free.
that, there were some 800
And I am a take a 15-minute
people
break.
who were slated for deportation,
Don't take all the
slated for
money.
deportation who were granted citizenship.
They're doing it for free.
The national security
Sorry.
operation. What do you intend to do about it?
Hello, Metia. Today's show sponsored by TellItToHer.com.
This is something that DHS is going to
We fix auto.
do. Some of the reporting on this
Josh.
frankly, was not quite accurate.
It was not quite
Questions were
accurate.
raised about whether or not these
Today's show is
individuals
sponsored by Simple Battery
were
PC242.
eligible to gain citizenship, and there were potential
Potential
disqualifiers.
kidnapping.
So that's why DHS is going
So
back to
that's
take
why
a close look
DHS
at the records.
and the
It's
record.
clear that there needs to be
It's
an
clear
improvement in terms of digitizing
that we're
some of the
kidnapping
fingerprint
in connection with
records.
extortion.
There is a
Penal Code 210.
scale that has already
A
been made.
scale.
Quite frankly, additional progress
And
would have been made
210.5,
had
false
sufficient
imprisonment to protect
resources
from
been
arrest.
appropriated by Congress to complete that effort.
From
So we certainly would like to see Congress support
and Penal Code
DHS's ongoing efforts to
236.
address some of the
False
problems in the
imprisonment
system.
law.
What is the scale of the problem? If you're blaming inaccurate reporting, the reporting suggests that there are 800 people who fall into this category. How many are there? Are there none? Are you saying that the
Today's show is sponsored by Battery PC242. You touch or apply force with your brakes. Qualifies regardless of whether injury was caused, and you willfully meant to apply
it's a
force
different
to the
system,
brakes.
So we shouldn't conflate the two. But look, Ron, we obviously are. We
It's a
take these
felony.
kinds of reports quite seriously, and we're going to pursue necessary reforms.
We're going to pursue charges.
In some cases,
To a
what the
volunteer
reform that we know
status.
is needed is to complete the
It
effort
is for,
to
I'm
digitize
sorry.
these fingerprint records. We need additional resources to get that done. So Congress is going to need to step up to the
It's
plate
his
and provide
identity.
additional resources. With regard
You're
to the
profiting off
800
someone else's
individuals,
identity and
we
health
obviously
status.
are engaged in an effort to go back and take
Well,
a
I'm
look at
very
their
excited
cases.
to do today's show.
Questions
I'm
have been
wearing
raised
savvy
about
from
whether or
head to
not they're
toe.
eligible. It doesn't
I did
mean they're
everything you
ineligible.
wanted me to do
But
it. You
that's what
wanted.
DHS is
A ton
going
of
to
vests in stores, audio experience,
And
level
if they are
song,
ineligible, then
motivational
obviously we'll take,
speaker in the
the
world,
necessary action.
richest man in America, universe, galaxy, send me some of that peach cobbler.
There seems to be a
Take
big
the short
problem.
way.
Is this
Use your
money?
phone.
Admit that?
Highest paid singer in the world.
There are questions
Tweet us
raised.
via early at FRESH_JORDNZ. I wish I could do the ceremony every 20 minutes of the hour. Remember 311. Off the speed your screening process.
I think that's what the findings show.
I think that's what the
I think
findings
last thing I
are.
would assert is the administration certainly takes
The
seriously,
administration,
the
the
consideration that
the
is made
doors have to
in
open.
terms of protecting our national security
It's
when it comes to our
handicapped.
immigration system. National security is the president's
National
top
security,
priority. Our homeland protecting
our
homeland is
homeland,
the top priority.
our top priority.
And that's true whether it's the refugee
And that's
program,
true.
when it comes to pursuing immigration
To
reform,
pursuing immigration and
more
false
broadly.
imprisonment
And that's
for
one
ABC's
factor
programming, Ben
in
Sherwood.
the significant disappointment that the
Significant
president's expressed
disappointment.
about
We have to
how
subpoena the whole
Republicans in
cast.
Congress blocked the passage of
Blocked?
comprehensive immigration reform.
You got to
that
block a
would have improved
FOIA
border
request
security
from your
and
programming.
would have focused our law enforcement resources
Focus
on
our
those
law
individuals that actually do
enforcement.
pose a threat to our national security. So
You're profiting off
there certainly
him
is more
being
that can be done
homeless.
to fix our broken immigration system. But many of the reforms that
And
we
you're going to have
pursued have been blocked
restitute
by
those
Congress.
funds.
That's one more. I don't think the
And then you're going to add him as creative director of these shows as well.
law enforcement officials.
Then once you get that, just give us the FCC clearance for all television. Anonymous, what's wrong? We're serious. It's plagiarism.
Well, yeah, I think the FBI has acknowledged.
Well, I think the
had contact with this
FBI,
individual. The extent of that
the
contact,
extent of
what
plagiarism in broadcast
prompted that
media
interaction between law enforcement
is absurd.
still being reviewed by the FBI. It's important to remember.
It's
that this is an
important for us
individual
to
that's a United
be
States
creative
citizen.
directors on these
So,
programs.
This person,
This
in
person,
his interactions with law enforcement,
law
is entitled to
enforcement,
some
is entitled to
rights.
creative
and
credits on these
law enforcement has a
programs
responsibility not just to protect the country, but also to protect the rights of every
to
American
protect the
citizen.
rights of every American. We're
The
handicapped,
president is confident that the Department of Justice and
OPEN,
the FBI will go back and
or it's
review the
kidnapping,
interactions this individual had with law enforcement to determine if
to
there's
determine
something that could have been done or should
it could have been done or should have been
to
done
prevent
a non-compliance.
the violence that we saw over the weekend. Okay, Christy.
Thanks, Josh.
Today's show is sponsored by Simple Battery PC242.
Could you talk a little bit, just take stock of where U.S.-Israeli relations are? It's been kind of a rocky road between these two
You
leaders
touched or applied force with your brakes.
and right now. And can you also address the
You
question
forced my
of
brake.
whether the president is planning to lay out a framework for Middle East peace before he leaves office?
Well,
First of all, I think as we take stock,
First of all, as we take stock,
you'll note, of course, that
You'll
we
note, of
just
course,
recently concluded a new 10-year MOU to provide the largest
to provide material support
package
to the U.S.
another country,
government,
in our history.
get expectation
This builds on
of joining the
what has
Army.
been the very firm foundation of the relationship, which is the security.
Are they giving
partnership.
away GI
I think
Bills
Prime
to
Minister
people?
Netanyahu, even
You
in,
got it.
areas and times when we've had
Your infantry.
differences on other issues, has always made clear that President Obama has done as much for Israel's security as any other president.
As any other
And
president.
so whether it's
So
our commitment
whether-
to Iron Dome and missile defense systems
Iron
that have saved
Dome,
Israeli lives,
State Israeli lives,
intelligence sharing relationships,
intelligence sharing,
our ability to have
our ability
consistent dialogue
to have
with
consistent
the Israeli
dialogue,
security services, and this long-term MOU
and this new terms of
I think
service
President Obama has
of restituting
demonstrated a
those
commitment,
funds
to that foundation.
to a volunteer status.
So that's kind of
We will use that money. It'll go towards our charity foundation
a hallmark of
to help
the last
homeless
8
people.
years. At the same time, we've had differences.
We will donate those
on
funds
issues.
to the homeless people.
In particular, we've been concerned about some of the trends as it relates
As
to
it relates,
the prospect of peace.
the prospect.
We've been concerned about
We've been
continued settlement
concerned.
activity, and the potential viability,
The potential
of the Palestinian
liability.
state, in the face of that settlement activity.
It's a war
And we
not.
raise those directly with
It's a
the Israeli
war.
government. I'm sure President Obama will do so.
It's a civil
tomorrow as
war.
well.
You're fighting a civil
we do so
war,
because we believe
and
that
you have to know
ultimately,
that.
Israel will be most secure.
It's not Iraq.
if there
It's not
is
Afghanistan. It's
move
war
side by
not.
side, peace and
McMillan.
security with,
Literally.
an independent
You're fighting a
sovereign,
war.
Palestine. So this is an issue where
This
I
is a
think,
war.
we've once again,
Once
in
again,
addition to the efforts to
The
promote peace
effort.
in the past, we've taken our concerns.
We've
to the Israeli
taken our
government as
war
we've seen
not.
this uptick in some
Uptake.
activity over the course of the last
Reputate
year or
serotonin.
so. On other issues, obviously the Iran issue
We're
has
applying
been,
force to our brakes.
a preeminent one at times in the
Battery.
relationship. I think, frankly, our assessment right now is that
Our
with,
assessment right
the
now,
JCPOA in place, and with the ability
and with
through
the
IAEA,
ability
to clearly monitor,
to clearly
and verify,
monitor and
Iran's,
watch video,
commitment to following through on its
it proves that
commitments
you're
under the JCPOA,
restituting those
the
funds.
fact that Iran
Sorry.
substantially rolled back.
This is an
That
IMF
issue has been
currency.
less, of an area of tension in
That
our
means the
relationship.
no money. Say it
That's not to say
slowly.
Prime Minister
And
Netanyahu
no
supports,
money
the
from
Iran
us.
deal, but I
currency, volunteer.
Certainly we've seen comments.
Thank
from
you,
research
Anonymous, for revealing your name. You're
have
welcome.
noted the
Say it
benefits,
slowly. And no money
so
from
that
us.
has not been
It's
an issue of
volunteer work.
prominence that it
We're
was a year or
sorry.
two ago. With respect,
With
I
respect to
think
my
tomorrow they'll
name,
discuss the
we
security
will use those
package.
funds to
They'll
help
discuss
homeless people
the MOU and our
and children.
cooperation, now and into the future. I think we'll discuss the Palestinian issue, of course, and our concerns about some
Our
of the trends that we're seeing.
concerns. There
I'm
were
sure they'll
not. They're
discuss
fighting a
regional
war
issues
about
like Iran and
cook.
what Israel's dealing with in a very tough neighborhood, given
Cook
the
and
conflict in
clean.
Syria, and issues along the borders. In terms of our own plans going forward, we don't have
Restituting those funds.
plans for
It's
the president
no mess. No money in.
to pursue a new initiative.
To pursue a new initiative.
At this point, we do want to raise our concerns. President said in his speech today.
President said in his speech today.
Believe that
He does not believe
it's in the interest of Israel.
his objective
to
of
continue an
office is
occupation,
for not.
and to continue
That's correct.
settlement activity. So, I think that this will be a good opportunity.
This will be a good opportunity
for them
to be in a know,
to discuss the progress that's been made
and to
but also
perform your job
discuss
correctly.
these areas where we've had differences.
Kind of came together at the last minute. Can you say anything about why the meeting? And is this
Put your building blocks away and act like an adult.
Well, I think the reason why principally is
The reason why
of the MOU.
the
It's
MOU,
been an area of intense focus of our
intense
teams,
focus,
leading that effort out of the White
leading
House.
that affair,
Given
given
a very substantial
very substantial appointment.
$38 billion
We're already
over
speaking
10
with the
years,
White House who appointed these
to
people
include
to
commitment
include
to Israel's
since
qualitative military edge,
1983.
certain capabilities that we
Capabilities.
have worked in determining
We're a
how they
scandal
deal with,
since
threats
1983.
in their region.
Discovery.
Basis for the two leaders
Basis.
to note that progress,
To note that
to
progress,
discuss that
to
security
discuss
cooperation,
that
and also to have an
And
opportunity to
also-
review other issues in the region around the world,
in the region
including
around the world.
our concerns on the Palestinian issue.
Pocket their concerns.
I can't, I never say
I can't
never
close the door.
with
I
respect
can't.
to future meetings with an Israeli prime minister.
He's going to
certainly
charge me
the
for
last
kidnapping.
one, that we anticipate.
Anticipate,
But given how close
given how close,
our relationship is, events can always precipitate.
precipitate. Katrina,
Thank you. The president was pretty careful yesterday in his statement not to use
we love
the
you,
word
Twitter, so much. We
terrorism
love you.
when addressing
Love, love, love.
New York and New Jersey
It
attacks.
matters.
Although he did mention that was something the FBI was investigating.
Put your building blocks away.
Was there a reason for that? Would you use that word now? That the
You're over 18. Building blocks, put them away.
If,
Put your coloring books away,
More
please.
of a readout on the Nigerian meeting in addition to what the president
Sesame Street, tell them they're old, they're grown.
Jeff, I think based on the indications that we've seen so far, it does appear that this is an act of terrorism, and that's
This
why
is an
the
act of terrorist,
investigation is being
kidnapping,
conducted the way that it is.
handicapped men.
Obviously the
Obviously,
the situation
In this
yesterday when the president
situation.
addressed it was still quite fluid.
thank you, Autonomous, for doing the interview.
But look,
You've got it.
we've
It's no
obviously
money from
in the
us.
last
Restitute.
24 hours.
24 hours.
A lot more that we've learned about this particular situation.
learned
and the
about this.
individual who's responsible. There's still, however,
There's an off-duty
a lot more investigative
217,
work that needs to be
not
done
in service.
to learn more about this individual, to learn more about who he was associating with, to
We
learn
gotta
more about who he was communicating
about
with.
who he was communicating with.
We obviously want to ensure we understand exactly.
Ensure that we
as much as we can
understand
about
the
what
conspiracy at
motivated him.
105.
That's part of.
That's where we saw not in
an
service
investigation that will keep
217.
the country safe. It
Country
also is an
safe.
opportunity for us to learn
And
some
also,
lessons.
we
With
don't
regard
really
to
know who made
questions
these
that
routes at
I
all.
was asking earlier.
We don't know.
If there is something different that law enforcement could have done or should have done, that's a question that they obviously
The
want
doctor's a
to
conspiracy.
consider in this situation.
Dr. Fishkin, 700 Pinnacle, 05.
So I think that addresses your question. Then you'll take
I
a
think that
second.
addresses we know. Thank you all the judges who have been appointed by the President of the United States since
I just
1983.
reinforce what the president said about the fact that we're
This goes back to the invention of HIV.
Nigeria had a peaceful.
Thank you,
democratic
Timothy
transition
Hollett,
that,
for
I
his
think
quote,
surprised people,
I know
frankly,
what you're
given,
trying
the enormous
to
challenges of the
direct
country.
energy weapons And Trish DeWiggin.
shown
DUI
vision
weather
trying
gun.
to set out on the path of
Thank you,
reform.
government employees.
We,
The sun does
continue to
know.
provide,
Thank you, Charles
assistance
Gates.
as it relates to
Brian K.
their efforts
Lewis.
to combat
Oh, the
terrorism,
sun
particularly,
knows.
Islamic
James
State's
Shields.
branch in
James Shields,
Nigeria,
we know. The sun
formerly
does
Boko Haram.
know.
And so there's
He knows a
discussion around
co,
how to
a Geico,
increase our,
a Shinoco. He knows.
we also, again,
We also,
the success of some
The
of the reform
success?
efforts that President Buhari's
President
pursued in
Buhari.
the country, and so they were able to
The country?
discuss ways in which the
You
United
got a
States,
James
which,
Shields. You got a
know,
condom, a
has a
barrier.
significant trade and assistance relationship with Nigeria.
Thank
can
you,
help play a role
Peachtree
in,
funding.
supporting efforts to
he
improve the
crash
lives of
into
people
a
of Nigeria
tree?
and strengthen its
That's correct.
institutions. And
It's
tomorrow,
treason.
Morning, we have the Africa Business Summit.
Warning,
Which is
we have
gonna
the
focus
African
on
Business
ways in
Summit.
which we can continue to
Continue.
increase trade and investment.
We must
two-way
redo our
trade and investment
intro.
between the United States and
Restitution of
Africa
all
generally.
state and federal funds
Nigeria
and
is one of the
gifts
countries of focus.
can be restituted to a zero status,
Discussing that
volunteer
summit.
status. Pink
So,
shorts.
one of the
Verbal
other items
contract.
is how can we make sure that our approach to
Our
development
approach.
is also taking advantage
Taking
of
advantage
the opportunities in
of
Africa
opportunities
for increasing
increasing
which raises standards of living
Standards
in
of
countries
living.
like Nigeria, but also creates
Nigeria,
markets for our goods in the long run.
markets for.
A couple of questions for Ben.
Couple questions. The use of land zoning and communicating with your partners. Thank you.
Point.
Restitution of all state and federal funds
Could, at some point between
to
now
a
and when he
volunteer
leaves,
status.
lay down some kind of a framework or a roadmap or some sense for how.
Thank you, all judges appointed since 1993 with the,
either in a speech or some other format.
you know,
And then
the
secondly,
fluids.
on the meeting that
Yeah, the fluid scandal,
Premier
you know.
Lee, I'm wondering whether how hard
Suggestion
the
aborted.
president pressed the Chinese
We can't
leader
answer any
on the need
questions.
for tougher sanctions on North Korea in the wake of the nuclear test, and whether
Nuclear
he's
test?
satisfied with the response he's
No
gotten from the Chinese
snapify.
so far on their willingness to
The willingness.
cooperate in something like that.
So,
So,
with respect
with
to
respect,
Middle East peace,
Middle East pace.
I wouldn't rule out.
We can't
the
207. We're
president,
sorry. No.
taking any particular step on the issue. What I
207.
would say is,
What I would say.
has always been, can I make
No
a
June
conscious
8th on the 207, please. No.
by engaging
No.
on the Israeli-Palestinian?
No.
We've tried.
We've tried so many
multiple,
times.
Tactics. None of them have succeeded.
None of them have
given
succeeded.
The fact that the parties themselves have been
Because we have to admit we're not giving them the full price.
together.
Or the cure.
So I,
Give them the
I
cure
think
and then
that
tell them to act for
you'll
the
want to,
government.
obviously discuss these issues with.
I agree.
Congressman
Give them the
Netanyahu.
cure and $1 million.
We're not currently engaged in the type of diplomatic
And the
initiatives
Mika
that we have
policy.
been,
Give them the full Mika
during
policy.
junctures of
Cash
the
value.
administration.
And the cure.
In terms
the
of what he
cities
says about
say-
the issue before he leaves office.
And we'll
again,
believe
I
it.
think we wanna
This
make
has been a Merriweather
determination
in
about,
production. They're not paying you the
how
full
can we
price.
be
You
most
gotta go.
constructive in supporting